I love that monogram on the toe box. It's subtle, but whenever you see it, you still recognize what it is. Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's your old pal, Mr. Butter, coming back at you again. Today, I want to take a look at something a little bit different than the norm. I actually placed an order for these back in January, but they were made to order, and I'm worried I may have made a big mistake with this pair. If you're into kicks and you feel like hanging out, then hit that subscribe button. Let's take a look at these made-to-order KITH Wallabees. And a quick look at what I'm rocking today. These are the recent Bad Bunny Gazelles. This is the Cabo Rojo colorway, and I am absolutely loving this pair. It's the first pair of Gazelles I've ever had, but I love the way that they look on feet. What is happening, everybody? It's wonderful to be back here with y'all. Like I said, today I've got a different kind of review for everybody. I have never owned a pair of Clark's Wallabees, but I've been looking at the silhouette for a while. I like the way they look. It's just something a little bit more elevated than your regular sneaker, but you can still wear them casually or to like a dress down day at the office, date night, that sort of thing. This pair in particular really never came onto my radar until they became available for pre-order on the KITH app. But they had 3 different colorways available. I think there was a blue, a green, and then the pair I got, which is like a tan gray. I said on the intro, I'm afraid I made a big mistake with these, and I realized after they arrived that all of my other Clarks, which are all pretty much dress shoes, but I go a half size down on all of them across the board because they all seem to fit my feet really, really big and really loose. I went true to size on this pair, and I'm worried that my feet are going to be swimming in them. Since this is the first time I've ever had a Wallabee, I am going to try these on so you can see how they look, and we'll also get my thoughts on how I think they fit as well. I'm worried that if they don't fit, it's pretty much GG's, because I am not going to be able to reorder this pair. They were only available for pre-order, and like I said, I paid for these back in January, and they didn't get here until the end of July. So if they don't fit, it's just too bad, so sad, but fingers crossed, hopefully they work out. When I first got this box, I was really surprised at the size of it, because I knew that I ordered a low top shoe, and this looks like a box that like Doc Martens or Uggs or something would come in. I just didn't realize why it was so big, but you could see that it says Clark's, and of course Ronnie Feig is the founder of KITH. It's got some more KITH loyalty badging here on the side. The tag reads Clark's Originals Collab Wallabee. The colors are gray suede. Like I said, I went true to size, and I am worried that they're going to be too big. These cost $160 US, and after looking at these, I don't think that's a bad price at all, and we'll get into why. And then when we open the box, we can see that we get a nice dust bag. It's got some Clark's Feig loyalty branding on it. But more importantly, the mystery of the giant box is answered. We got some really nice shoe trees in here. The one shoe tree just has some Clark's branding. You can see it says established 1825. And then the other shoe tree has some Ronnie Feig and Clark's branding. I have 3 or 4 sets of cedar shoe trees, and I keep them in my really expensive dress shoes just so that they keep their shape really nice. But typically I'm spending around 25 or 30 bucks for a good set of shoe trees. So the fact that they threw this in, that's a huge extra in my book. And then enough of my box talk and yapping. This is a wonderful Wallabee. Like I already mentioned, I knew that these things were going to have a premium look and feel, But this suede on this upper is absolute butter, and I am just really digging the style with these. They are soft as can be. Even the insole is a nice leather, but these things just seem so premium. I didn't expect that they would come with extra laces, but I think that's a really nice add-on as well. And my favorite detail is probably the way that KITH monogram looks all over that toe box. I'm not going to take a lot of time for the in-hand portion, simply because what you see is pretty much what you get. It's the same material that we have for this entire upper. A lot of you are probably familiar with Wallabees as well as just other Clarks that have this crepe rubber outsole. It's a really unique traction pattern and they are very grippy. I have other Clarks dress shoes that also have this kind of tread and I really like this. It almost looks like it's a light gum rubber, but whatever you want to call it, I just think that it looks really nice with the color of this upper. But the same rubber on the outsole is also what we see for the midsole, and really that just comes all the way up to the shoe. I will say this is probably not a good shoe if you don't have good balance. I've never had any issues with Clarks, but this pair in particular has a very thin outsole, and as you can see, the upper of the shoe kind of hangs over the edges of that. So if you're kind of wobbly on your feet, you may want to steer clear of these. But looking at this upper, I just really love the color of this tannish gray suede. It's not a really long-haired suede, but you get a whole lot of back and forth motion on it. And it's just a very buttery feeling material, and even just looking at these, you can tell that they're really premium. These came with flat tannish gray laces already in the shoes, but they gave us two spares. One is a tan gray rope style lace, and the other one is a sail or off-white colored rope style lace. I'd be interested in seeing how both of those look, but I also think the laces that came in it look just fine as well. Like I already mentioned, we see that KITH monogram all over the toe box, and that is more of that really luxurious feeling suede. Up near the collar, we can see a little loyalty badge on the left shoe, and that matches the color of the upper. On the right shoe, we get a couple of extra little accents here on the laces. One of them says Ronnie Feig. The other one has some Clarks and KITH branding, and they're just made out of that premium suede that we have on the upper as well. And then we have some different branding up by the collar on the right shoe. I think that stands for Molecule. Real quick, while I'm doing this in-hand portion, I want to show you the insole. And then there's no separate sock liner on these. It's just kind of the back side of that material that we see on the upper. And then our insole is a very premium feeling leather, and it's got the KITH loyalty badge down on it. All right, I know I flew through that pretty quick, but I really want to throw these on feet so we can get to the moment of truth. I'm really worried that these are going to be too big and that I made a mistake by ordering my normal size. But anyhow, we'll see here in a minute. I will be right back. All right, so I got them on feet, and I absolutely love the way that they look. As far as the style goes, I give these a 10 out of 10. They feel very premium. They look very premium. It's a great shoe if you want to kind of elevate your look from standard sneakers. I just think these look incredible. The bad news, unfortunately, they are too big for me. I should have gone with a size 9.5. I don't even know if you can find these on the resale market just because they were made to order. So I think for the most part, people who ordered these really wanted them for themselves. So I don't know if I'll be able to find a 9.5 or not, but I'm kind of bummed. They're loose enough on my feet that I just don't think I'd like the way that they feel for long term. Underneath my foot, they have a really nice shaped footbed, and you have a lot of arch support and everything. It's not that I think the shoe is uncomfortable as a silhouette. I just think I messed up by not going a half size down from my usual size. This size 10 fits me more like a size 11 would of other sneaker brands. I kind of wish I didn't like the way that they looked so much, just because then I wouldn't be as bummed, but I don't know. I've got a buddy who also likes KITH stuff, and he's a businessman and that kind of thing. And I think he's pretty interested in these. He wears a size 10.5 or 11. So I think they'll probably work out perfectly for him. And I'm probably just going to hook him up for retail. I love that monogram on the toe box. It's subtle, but whenever you see it, you still recognize what it is. Hit you with that top-down POV. I have a buddy that says KITH is like Supreme for adults, and I think that's pretty accurate. Alright, so hopefully that was enough to give you a good look at these KITH Clark's Wallabees. I absolutely love the way that they look on feet, but unfortunately I should have gone down a half size. I think in that case I would have given these a 10 out of 10. I still give them a 10 out of 10. It's really my fault, because I didn't even look at my other Clark's dress shoes to see what size they were. But as soon as I got the box, I realized, oh shoot, I made a big mistake with these. I highly recommend going at least a half size down. If you have a narrow foot, maybe even consider going a full size down. But as for the silhouette, it's a timeless style. I think it looks great. This KITH pair is really, really high quality, and I love the subtle little branding that we have there on the toe box. I think these are just as cool as can be. If you have any Clark's Wallabees, let me know what size you go with, whether it's your normal size or if you have to go down a half or even a full size. I'd be interested in knowing. I appreciate you all watching tremendously. Let me know what you think about these shoes, and I will catch y'all on the next one. I'm out.